Hi, everybody. Welcome to Aimee Nolte Music. This is going to be kind of like, if you remember from VH1 when they had the storytellers and people would, tell about the albums that they recorded and about what the songs were. So that was kind of my idea for tonight, because I have just this week made available my very first album from 2005 called Up Till Now on my website. So up till now, you've only been able to get it through iTunes and Spotify. But now you can also get it through my website. And it's kind of like a little reissue or something, but it's not really. Anyway, I'm excited to be live tonight and to kind of tell the stories behind these songs. So I'm glad to have you all here. I'm sorry this blocks my face a little bit. I'll try to fix it. John is moderating, so he can say hi, and I can see your comments as well. If you have questions, you can ask John, because I won't really be answering questions tonight. This is the album. I have it sitting right here. It's artwork by my mother-in-law, who painted the painting behind me. She did all the artwork for the album. And in fact, Marco, my website manager, put up some nice artwork that's also in these liner notes that you can see on my website. I recorded the album back in 2005, and I was 27 when I made it. And it's I called it Up Till Now because it's kind of everything that was happening to me, or all the songs that I had written up till then. So that's why I called it that. And actually, one of the songs was also called Up Till Now. That's the second track. I drove to Utah in our Geo Metro to record the album, and I had 3 days to do it. So, yeah, I drove one night, and it broke down. It broke down about halfway to St. George, right on the freeway. A cop picked me up. Luckily, it took me to a rest stop. I called my brother, who lived in St. George, and he came and rescued me, picked me up in his truck, let me have his truck for the 3 days to go up to my friend Jeff Rayback's house. He lived up in Salt Lake. And we recorded in his house everything in 3 days. I had everything prepared, all of the parts written. I had a cellist and a violinist hired, guitar, bass. My friend Jeff, who also, he produced with me. He made so many decisions about the album. He played bass on the album. That's why his bass sounds so good. Also, my friend Joshua Payne played guitar. My friend Mitch Lee played the drums. I love that about the album the most. I love those guys and their playing. Sometimes I wish I could go back and record, because I feel like re-record, because I feel like my voice has changed a lot since then. It's lower, and I don't know. Actually, that's one thing I'd change about these songs, is that I wrote them too high. You'll see that as I get into it, but I'll do my best. The first song on the album is called Alpine Field, and I wrote that song because I was dating a boy who played the guitar, and we used to hang out in this field, and it was called Alpine Field. And what we would do is he would bring his guitar, and we would sit and sing songs and talk. And also we would look up at we would put our arms out and spin around as fast as we could and get super dizzy, lay down, look up at the stars, and watch them spin. That's how we got our kicks. And one night we were there, and I had decided that it was going to be better if the two of us were friends. And it turned out to be a good call, because he and I remain good friends to this day. But I just wanted to have one more kind of magical night, just playing songs underneath the stars in that field before I told him. And that's where this song comes from. Play me a song on your sad, sad guitar. Let it sing, let it ring all the cares of this day. songs play for me. Please don't talk, please don't say what you think, what you feel, just play. If the sun can find her courage, maybe we'll see her in the morn. After a night of sleepy dreaming, she might be ready for the dawn. And I might be ready for the dawn when it's time to tell you that it's over. Everybody got to hear me swear in my Aimee way. What I say, gosh dang it. And there we go. I hope it doesn't happen again, everybody. Yeah, the next song is Up Till Now. And like I said, this one is, it's kind of personal. I will tell you that it's just about, it's about somebody I trusted and loved, and then I found out that he didn't ever really have plans for us, I don't think, and I had to, it was another breakup. And sometimes I feel like a lot of these songs on this album they kind of finished things for me. Like I you go through something, and then maybe to finish it, to get some finality, some closure. Sometimes people write in their journals, or write a poem or something. Sometimes songs are like that for me, and I felt like this one really helped with that. There were moments in those years when you were mine, when you smiled, your eyes would shine, and we would laugh and things were fine. In the winter, when the world grows dark and cold, and when love affairs grow old, your arms were warm and you would hold me and till now, you've had a place in my life, but after now, and ever after now, you'll only have a place in my heart. When you told me all the love you had inside was just for me, and you knew deep down that we could never be. You knew the end, you knew I'd leave. Now it's over. Are you sad to see me go? Will the pain you feel ever show? Or will you hide so I won't know? I won't know. And now what hurts me most of all is how you act this way, when I don't know how I can wake to face another day. And up till now, you've had a place in my life, but after now, and ever after now, you'll only have a place in my heart. When you love again someday, maybe she can change your ways, though I can't play the part. You know you have a place in my heart. That was Up Till Now. I do apologize because a lot of these songs are pretty sad. But I always feel like the sad songs that are out there are my favorite. If you guys have listened to my live broadcast in the past, you probably know that about me. They always stick with me the most, and I feel like they change me the most. So not all of the songs are sad, and I think that this one is an exception. This was my high school boyfriend, and his name was Mike, and we had a wonderful time in high school just hanging out. We were both on the basketball teams and the baseball and softball teams, and we had so much fun together. But we both kind of knew that it was just high school, and I was going away to college. And he was a year younger, so we had to say goodbye. And I remember when we said goodbye, I wondered how the world would change without him in it. And it wasn't an extremely sad goodbye because we stayed friends too. But I remember looking up at the sky one night while I was driving and thinking, I think the sky still looks the same. Anyway, this is Losing Love. Sparkle quite as brightly for a love that's almost done. almost done? Is there sparkle when romance had just begun? No, I think that they're losing their luster. I think that we're losing love. Oh, I think that we're losing love. Oh, I'm sure that we're losing love. I have to say that my very favorite thing about that song, if you get the album, is Joshua Payne's guitar solo on it. It's absolutely amazing. He played a nylon string on it, and he played these rhythms that were just gorgeous the whole way through to comp. And then I remember it was a first take, and I was sitting on the floor in the studio listening to him, and he hits this open E string, a low open E string, in the middle of his solo, and I just jumped up from the floor with my arms in the air and just went, yeah! I said to Jeff, who was the engineer, I said, no matter what happens on the rest of this solo, we're keeping this take. Like, this is it. Like, there's not another one. I absolutely love that solo. The next song on the album, I need to look, was called Dear Tom. This one I wrote down. I've got a little music for it because I wrote it too high. I don't ever want to play it in C again. So I put it in A flat, and I think it'll be better, but I do need to read it. This one, gosh, it's another breakup song. Aimee dated a lot of boys. And this one brings us to the point in my life where I meet John, my wonderful, wonderful John. But before I met John, there was Tom, and I don't think he'd mind me sharing it. Tom and I hit it off. You'll see in the song. We had a blast together. And I don't think I've shared this before in my videos, but I told you we're getting up close and personal, and probably all of you have guessed it anyway, because I went to school in Utah, and because when I'm mad, I say, gosh dang it. But I am Mormon, and so in the Mormon tradition, most young men go away to serve missions. You've probably seen them in their white shirts and ties. And Tom was going to go serve a mission. So when he left, we decided I could date other people if I wanted to, because he wanted me to make sure that he was the one. And it's so sad for Tom. But while he was gone, I met John. And I had to write him a letter and tell him what had happened after I was pretty sure that John was like it. And I don't think I wrote a very good letter. So this song was like my way of saying, if I could do that again, this would be how I would do it. You guys think I'm awful. I break everybody's hearts. Oh, man. This is the least jazz-ish song on the whole video, jazz-like song, on the whole album. It's almost a pop song. Then you caught my eye. said you'd be on my mind. I said you're the one for me, but I didn't know I'd find a man who makes me feel, a man who makes me real. What you'll never be. He's a man who makes me me. I didn't plan for this to happen. I thought I would be true. I didn't think I'd find somebody who I'd love more than you. But he's filled me with such joy while you've been away. And I know that it's not fair, especially when I said that I'd wait for you, and that you'd be on my mind. I said you're the one for me, but I never dreamed I'd find a man who touched my soul. Me whole, and he's what you couldn't be. He's a man who makes me me. He makes me me. That's actually the first line of the song that I wrote, because we'd been married for a few years, and I remember thinking, I don't think I was ever really myself until I met John. And then I thought of that line, the man who makes me me. That's what you did. And then the next song is the happiest song on the album. It's the last happy song. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, from here we're just going down. Oh my gosh. This one's for John. In a fast-paced world where people like to play and never ever give their hearts or fall too hard, you give love so sure and never ending, and you always are attending to everything I need. In this crazy world where people rush around all day and never take the time to say what's in their hearts, you take time to hold me oh so tight. You give me love all through the night and kiss me tenderly in this crazy world. And when you hold me close at the end of the day, then I'm yours, and all the things that you say fill my heart, and they take me away to a place where time just stops. And in this perfect world where you and I are far away, it doesn't matter what we say or where we are. You give love so strong and so exciting, amazingly inviting. You fit me like a glove. You give me joy. You give me life. You give me love. say, fill my heart, and they take me away to a place where time just stops. And in this perfect world where you and I are far away, it doesn't matter what we say or where we are. You'll give love, love so strong and so exciting, so amazingly inviting. You fit me like a glove. You give me joy. You give me life. You give me love. That one's fun. That one's not nearly as fun without a band. It's a little bit hard to do on my own, but I had a good time with it. Oh gosh, let's see. The next one I wrote when we were living over in the UCLA student housing. John was in school to be a lawyer, and that meant a lot of nights away from each other. He had to study super hard. We had two little guys back then, Miles and Ella, and they were probably 3 and 1 when I wrote this song. They slept in the same room, although they might have been 2 and 4, because I think they were both in toddler beds. And I remember going in one night to check on them when they were asleep, and just thinking what a sweet moment it was, and knowing that someday they were going to be all grown up, and it would be hard to remember. Someday it will be hard for me to remember you this way. Lying, sleeping, you two sighing softly in the night. I want to keep this picture of you fresh within my mind, for someday when it's hard for me to remember, I watch you in the wee small hours till it's time to walk away, and leave you there alone together, slumbering in the dark. I want to keep this picture of you close within my heart, for someday when it's hard for me to remember. So often there are times like this I wish that I could keep. I know that time will slip away, first slowly till it lasts someday. These memories once so close to me will fly away, and I will see they're gone, and it's so hard for me to remember. So often there are times like this I wish that I could keep. I know that time will slip away, first slowly till it lasts someday. These memories once so close to me will fly away, and I will see they're gone, and it's so hard for me to remember. miles on the way to college this fall. It's crazy. It's like 14 years ago. It's nuts. But something about writing that song actually gives me a picture. I can still remember how they looked right then. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I thought of that then. I think it made me remember it a little better, at least that moment. The next songs on the album all go together. And I think and you can hear that when you listen to the album too. We made the space between number 7, which is called How Strong Is a Woman, and number 8 be faster than it should be, because they are 2 songs, but it's like, I don't know, it's like an epilogue or something. And then the next song also follows. So I can't remember, but I think the space between those 2 are also quicker than they should be. And then there's actually a hidden track at the very end. If you let the album run out, it shows up at the very end of track 9. There's actually a track 10 that's not listed. I think maybe we had a little glitch in the live stream again. I'm sorry about that. We'll take a drink. Hopefully we'll get back up. Is it okay, John? Okay, so the next 3 songs, they're also sad songs. This time in my life, there seemed to be a lot of divorce in my family. It was just happening left and right. And I also had a good friend who was going through a divorce. And so I wrote these songs from the point of view of the people that this was happening to. And I think that's all I'll say about that. Yeah, so this is How Strong Is a Woman. It's one of my favorite tracks on the album just because of how everybody played on it. Again, a nylon string guitar. Lots of percussion on this one. I had fun. I also play harmonica on this album. Here and there, you can hear it. I think there is some nice harmonica in this tune. All right, here we go. I have to remember the first words. Got it. The night is dark and she lies sobbing. The night is dark and she lies sobbing. She checks the clock. It's almost 4, and then she hears him at the door. She dries her eyes, she dries her tears, buries her head, but not her fears. And when she sleeps, she wails and weeps. And when she sleeps, she wails and weeps. The morning comes and he lies sleeping. The morning comes and he lies sleeping. She's in the shower, curled on the floor. The water falls, she cries some more. She drowns her tears, he drowns her hopes. And as he sleeps, she barely copes. When she's she's alone, she sighs and moans. When she's alone, she sighs and moans. How much can she handle? How much can she take? How long will she suffer? How long till she breaks? Somehow she'll go on. She'll hold her head high. How strong is a woman? She's stronger than his lies. She's stronger than his lies. Somehow she'll go on, but it won't be the same. How strong is a woman? She's stronger than the pain. She's stronger than the pain. The seasons change. She's on her own now. The seasons change. She's on her own now. Do you know you'll be lost in this world when I leave you? Do you know how it feels to be left all alone? Do you know I'm ashamed of the years I lived for you? Do you know that I'm scared to start life on my own? Do you know you'll be lost in this world when I leave you? Do you know how it feels to be left all alone? Do you know I'm ashamed of the years I lived for you? And do you know that I'm scared to start life on my own? That one was called Afterthought. And then the last one on the album, it's called The Way It Was. And this one is actually told from the point of view of the other woman, the new woman. And I don't think my family would mind me sharing this part either. But my parents did get divorced, and my dad remarried, and I really grew to love his second wife. If you're listening, hello. And I just got to thinking one day after several years had passed, what it must be like for a second wife. How that must be to know that the person that you love was somebody else before. He had like a whole other life that you never knew about. And so I wrote this one. And in the album, my friend Jeff plays bass, and it starts out with him playing his bass all by himself. And the bass represents the man. It starts out as a duet, and the piano sneaks in, and then there's some strings that turned out really nicely. But I have to play the bass line that I wrote for him, and it's pretty difficult. Much more difficult to play on bass than it is piano. It kind of kicked his butt in the studio. He went, "Seriously, Aimee?" Let's see. Some time today, I thought I'd find a book and curl up in my chair, but lying on the shelf was a book I hadn't known was there. A book of pictures from before I came into your life, and then I saw you there with that woman who used to be your wife. She held your hand in this one, and here she touched your cheek. On this page she has your coat on, and over here she's laughing. Is that the way it was back in those yesterdays? Is that the way it was back then? Is that the way it was before you came to me? Is that the way you felt, the way it used to be? How did you love her? And did she tell you all the things you need to hear? And when you kissed her, could you calm her fears and make them disappear? When you first met her, well, did you know that it was love right from the start? Or was it like you and I? And did it take a while before you won her heart? You're in New York in this one, and here you're in the snow. On this page she sits beside you, and over here you're dancing. Is that the way it was back in those yesterdays? Is that the way it was back then? Is that the way it was before you came to me? Is that the way you felt, the way it used to be? Is that the way it was back in those yesterdays? Is that the way it was back then? And the hidden track, I hid it because it was, I didn't feel like it fit with the album really. but I wanted to put it on there because it was so true to my life right then. It's called Mae, and she came over. Charlie was in another world, and the two of them would just play and play and play, and she would pretend with him and pick him up and swing him around the room, everything. I didn't have to worry when Charlie was with Mae. He absolutely adored her. And one day she had to go, and she didn't get to stay very long. And he said to her, he called her Mae Mae, and he goes, "Don't go bye-bye, Mae Mae." And she was so sad. She hugged him, and anyway, she had to go. And we had these French doors, these red French doors. And Charlie stood in the doors with his hands up on the windows like this, and he watched her walk away. And I'm not even kidding. As Mae Mae walked away, it started to rain. And I was sitting at the piano bench then, and I just watched him, and he didn't move for a long time. And I thought, this is the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. Poor Charlie. And I can't remember if I did it right away, but the way I remember it is that I sat my hands on the piano, and I played this. I just played it. I didn't even think about it. That's never happened to me before. I just played those notes, and then the song came very, very quickly. So this will be our last song. It's called Mae. That's up till now. That was it. Once in a while, I have seen your guys' comments out of the side of my head over here, and they distract me, and I may have messed up. But I've seen some sweet ones, and I want to thank you for those. And thank John, too, for moderating, because he's been busy this whole time. I know it. You can get the album. I'll put the link in the description when I'm all done at my website if you'd like to. And yeah, those are just like 10 songs that were me back then. And then I had a second album too in 2009. And I don't know if I'll ever do this again, but because it was a long thing, wasn't it? But it was really nice. The only thing that would have made it better is if you guys were in the room with me and I could see your faces and feel your energy and everything. That would have been amazing. But thank you so much. My mom has been in here. Thank you, Mama, for all your nice comments. And she wants to know how I play all those parts at the same time. I just left them all out, Mom. I hardly played any of them. I did my best, but I left a whole lot out. It's kind of fun to break it down like this and just play them solo piano, but like I said, the best thing about that album was the way people played on it. I'd go redo all my parts if I could do it over again. But you can't, can you? So that's okay. I'm sorry that the stream kept coming out, and I hope that that's fixed in the replay. In fact, I'll fix it in the replay. I think I can go edit it so that I cut out any parts where I might have shouted an expletive. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It was a fun time, and I had a good time playing all these songs. And thank you so much for watching my channel, just in general, and for subscribing and being there for me. I will see you next time on Aimee Nolte Music, and I hope you guys all have a great weekend.